There was the good and the bad in round 17, but the good far outweighed the bad. We scored 2,625, top 1%, moved up 349 spots. So, real good week overall for the side. I think they did something with the website so that when you scroll down, it doesn't bring the whole page down. If you frequently check SuperCoach on your laptop, you know what I mean. So it's nice, and I get to zoom in a little bit more to show the full team. But anyway, defense was outstanding. Laird, Stewart, Ridley Short, Lloyd was good. Stewart was just about best on ground, and Short should really be helped without Hooley in the side. But unfortunately, Lockie Whitfield went down early with a concussion, finished on just 32, and he's going to miss next week. So I really hope Bianco doesn't get dropped, or otherwise we'll be stuck in a very difficult situation. I switched up my defense mid-loop to a mid-forward loop, and I don't know, hopefully that doesn't backfire. But defense was really good besides that. Midfield, Bont and McRae weren't at their absolute best, but we still take those scores. Lions just doesn't seem to play well against the Saints. Just the 50 last year against them and the 81 this time around. They really seem to be his bogey team. Walsh was phenomenal against Geelong. Pretty much did everything for Carlton. Give the man some help. Neil was good after having a very slow start. Good to see Clary crack 110 plus again. It's been a few weeks. And Track, we picked him because of his high ceiling, and it took 17 rounds, but finally he really shows it. He's played fine, but his ball use has really stopped him from getting these types of scores. But you see what happens when he finally puts it together. 33 touches, had his fair share of marks and tackles, 3 goals, and best of all, used the footy well. And this is what happens. This is what he can do. So it's great to see, and hopefully we can see more of this in the coming rounds. Brayshaw had a pretty quiet first half, but it was a nice recovery in the second half. And on the bench, Bramble, a 120. Safe to say we're going to get good cover off the bench. Found a lot of the footy, took a few kick-ins as well. Newcomb was managed, so hopefully he comes back this week. The rucks, I was getting pretty worried at half time. Grundy as captain on just 35, and I thought, man, I've failed captaincy for a 3rd week in a row. But from that point, he just took over. A 105 point second half, 140 for the game. So good. And on the bench, as emergency, I had Edwards on field just in case Dangerfield's vice worked out. But on the bench was Gawn, and he just hasn't been at his best for a while. I think Jackson might be taking away some of that ruck time, so he's just not the reliable captaincy option he was earlier in the season, but hopefully we can see his high ceiling scores sometime soon. And the forward line, Dangerfield, nothing amazing this time around. We want more, but 97 isn't the worst. Zeeble and Hall just continue to be fantastic seagulls. I needed something from Hall in the second half to win my league matchup. He was just on 45 and he delivered, so that was great. Dusty really hasn't been at his best, and Richmond have struggled as a whole. Langford was great for 3 quarters, but got subbed out at 3/4 time. I think it was due to hamstring tightness. So, like the Whitfield situation, I really hope he can get up for this round against North. Otherwise, we're going to be in a very tough situation, and more so in the forward line, because forward cover, Coleman Jones and Finn McRae, that's not good at all. And if by some good luck Saunders gets named, then we'd have cover there, but we're relying on Langford to get up for round 18 here, so hopefully that's the case. And De Goey, Man, he's been a great trade-in. A 114 last week and a 124. Just a phenomenal fourth quarter. Kicked a big goal. Found a lot of the footy. He's playing the role we hoped he would, and he's delivering at the moment. So hopefully he keeps this up. The happiness of a great score is short-lived because we quickly got to move on to next week, and next week we're not going to have Whitfield. So we're not fielding a full Primo team straight off the bat, and we got Bianco to cover, hopefully, if he doesn't get dropped. And if he plays, man, we got to get something better than that. And in the forward line, we're sweating on Langford's fitness. Hopefully he can get up for the game against North. Otherwise, gee, what are we working with here? This is not good. So we need some good luck heading into round 18. Otherwise, I might have to use that final trade. And I don't really want to. But we'll see what happens. Captains. We're going to keep Grundy as captain against Carlton. I don't know the status of Pitnet, but they have De Koning as ruck at the moment, so Grundy as captain's pretty safe. Vice captain will go to, oh, Neil's a good one against Richmond or Lions, one of them. But McRae just has an unreal record against Gold Coast, so it's going to be hard to go past him. I'm going to put the Vice on Jack McRae. Let's see, Clarion track against the Hawks isn't bad either, but yeah, I can't really go past McRae and his record against Gold Coast. So we're going to stick with that. We'll go through some trade options if you're considering offloading Whitfield or Langford, or both if you're in the position to do that. We'll probably go through this quickly because I think most people will be holding and hoping for the best. But I'd say in defense, if you can pay up for Whitfield, who's at 492k, I think this goes with Langford as well. If you can get a must-have, then by all means just do that, like Mills or Zorko. We'll put Dangerfield in that bracket as well. Just go ahead and bring them in. But Whitfield's at 492k, so I'd say the best options, if you can pay up. If you don't have Stewart, definitely bring him in. Rich isn't bad. Crisp, Salem, they're okay too. Ridley if you don't have him. And under that, the options aren't the greatest, but I'd say Sard and Daniel are probably your two best options at 481k. I think Sard is, yeah, or 478, and Daniel at 463. Houston's below that. He's fairly relevant, but he's been in bad form, so I don't think I'd go there. Langford's at the 468k price point, so I'd recommend trading in Jordan De Goey. I'm on the bandwagon. We're seeing what we want to see from him as a Supercoach selection, getting the mid-time, racking up the pill, still contributing on the scoreboard, and his scores have shown the past few weeks, averaging 117 last 3 games, a couple of 110s against Melbourne and St Kilda, and then the 124 against Richmond. Below his price, Hawkins and Marshall are probably the two best I go with. Actually, Tom McDonald's not too bad either. He's had a great year, so we'll put him in that bracket as well. Hawkins and McDonald obviously have the key forward concerns, but they've both been pretty good this year. Marshall's got concerns over his body, but if you think he can get through the season, if you're confident in his body, then by all means trade him in. He's not too bad. And under that, Bolton, he's been good this season, but lately he's been a little out of form. But so is Richmond. But above the Langford price point, if you can pay up, like I said before, for Zorko, obviously, trade him in, but Hall is also there at 530. But I go Hind or Dale, or Stringer if you want to take a risk, but Hind or Dale, probably the two best. And finally, the midfield, if you can use DPP. If you can pay up for an Uber Premium, then absolutely do that. If not, I think it'll be tough to go past Nat Fyfe at 483k. That's definitely a bargain for him, so I think he's at the top of the list. Guthrie is a little bit higher there at 502k. If you think he's over the shoulder and can get back to his best, then he's not bad either. Dunstan's a real speculative selection, but he's averaging 113 in his past 3. Job security is a concern, and I don't know if you want that over what you'd consider a premium mid. But he's playing really well, so if you want to take a huge risk, then maybe you could trade him in. Boak is pretty safe, I think, but he's getting up there in age, so I don't know if Port maybe decide they want to rest him or something like that later in the season. Can't really predict that stuff, but I think Boak's pretty safe. Libba, Parker, if you can pay up from the Whitfield price point. Taylor Adams, great 3-round average, but the body is a huge concern with him. But yeah, Fife is probably top of the list in terms of mids. Round 17 was a real roller coaster of emotions. Started off so well with Petrarca's 173. Then Langford got subbed out, didn't have merits, 143. Then the next day, Lions got just the 81, didn't have steals, 149. Zorko got the rub of the green, didn't have him. And then Sunday, it was starting to get worse with Whitfield getting subbed out in the second quarter, Grundy on just the 35, DeGoey going okay but not too flash. But then it got back up again. Grundy and DeGoey were huge in the second half, and then Zeeble and Hall Monday night doing their thing, and it ended with a 2,600 plus score, so pretty good in the end, all things considered. But that'll do it. Hopefully you all had some big weeks. Good luck to you all for round 18. Hopefully we can avoid the carnage that is to come. And I'll see you guys in the next video.